Hello again, SpeedGaming. Welcome back to the Super Metroid Triple Bingo Tournament. This will be our Game 3 of this 3-game series between azder and apathyduck. This is the quarterfinals of the tournament. Loser goes home. They're probably already home because they're playing video games. But they will be out of the tournament, and the winner will go on to the semifinals to face Mr. Guy Average. So this will be it. This is their last chance to make a move and win. Gonna get the card here up for all of us to see. So azder had taken game 1. Won by a little less than 2 minutes, I think. And Duck kind of doing the same in game 2 to even out the series. And I definitely expected this to be a really close matchup. Both extremely intelligent when it comes to bingo, and both excellent just speedrunners of the game in general. Vanilla categories, randomizer, all that good stuff. Alright, I spy with my little eye. What is the bestest rows? I actually find it easier to single out tiles that I definitely don't want to do when I'm making a choice on the card. Our runners, just to remind everyone, will have to choose for themselves any 3 lines to get. They have to route it while they're here playing in Sarah's Station, and have to make sure they don't route lines that have conflicting goals. I immediately see collect all 15 Norfair power bombs there in row 2. That is a bad tile. That is no, not doing it. Norfair power bombs, one would be at Crocomire, and the other 2 are down in lower Norfair. Power bombs of shame and power bombs in jail. So down at the lower Norfair escape, and then power bombs of shame, of course, are in the wasteland with the big Beskigas, the big puppy dogs, a little bit before Ridley. So you don't have to fight Ridley to get the power bombs, but it is still a long journey. So I definitely do not like column 1. And row 2 is otherwise okay, but the Norfair power bombs kind of ruins it. We do see again, row 1, pretty easy goals on that one. We're seeing again the all 15 wreck ship missiles, all 15 Meridius super missiles, and both missile recharge stations. Back again from the last card, making a comeback. The new one there is the Visit the Critters, so that would be the Edicoons. You have to go fall down in the trap, the secret floor, go all the way through the spiky hallway with all the frogs that suck your energy, and listen to the Edicoon sing. Then, not only that, but you have to take a speed booster from Norfair, come all the way back and visit the Decora, which you can only access with the speed booster. The azder double elevator on us. That's not a tile. Maybe he's already done. Is finish in an elevator on this card? Otherwise, this card is actually just a lot of collection. Nothing really leaning a super specific direction. This card, it looks like you could totally get away with just killing Fantoon and getting the gravity suit and not killing any other major boss, and possibly not even any other mini boss, but Batoon maybe. There is space jump there in row 4, and then in row 5 column 2 has collect space jump and skip high jump boots. Runners most of the time if they know better, they're not going to elect to skip high jump boots if they can help it. It's a very menacing tile. Without the high jump boots, you really are limited on options of ways to get back up Red Tower. If that is a route you're needing to take, you would have to either gather the ice beam or do a really, really long bomb jump. 57 bombs. Duck is collecting that criteria map station here soon. A mini annoying room, but still pretty annoying, especially with the blocks on the ground making it so that you can't just run straight across. So let's see. I definitely don't hate Calm 4 as far as ease. Sometimes finishing at landing site can end up being pretty far away from where you are. And I don't hate there's not a whole lot that I hate on here. But yeah, I think our runners should try to avoid space jump and avoid the Dragon kill here and just do Fantoon. North Fair map station is really easy, especially if you are going to Batoon. You have to pick up speed or ice anyway, and North Fair map station is just one little power bomb door away. So honestly, if you do Calm 4 and get speed, do top left, bottom right. And then the last one could be row 1. Easy. Done. Yeah, that's what I'm going with. Top left, bottom right. Row 1. Just making sure there's no conflicting finish-in tiles. Yeah. Calm 4. Easy. Easy card. Yeah, you could absolutely get creative here. I say creative, but it is kind of the old routing, but you don't see it a whole lot in more advanced players' bingos. Doing Creed first, not actually a bad idea here. The only kind of extra thing that you would be doing is actually killing Kraid, but that would allow you to get the various suit and collect your speed booster and therefore be able to collect the wreck ship reserve tank. The only thing kind of bad there about row 3 is 8 plus E-tanks. It's not the worst, but you will have to do a Brinstar revisit, I believe. Yeah, I don't think it's bad at all to do something like a Fantoon in the gravity suit and then coming down to get your speed booster in your Northfair map station, and then do a little tiny Brinstar revisit for the critters. Head to Batoon, and then a few rooms and an elevator ride up to the landing site. Not bad at all, in my opinion. Yeah, I think it would be kind of hard pressed here to not do a Brinstar revisit at some point. It's kind of either that or you're collecting space jump. Yeah, both are runners. Going up, we've seen this before. We're gonna have another set of scary, spooky Phantoon fights. A really, really difficult boss, regardless. Phantoon is, and just made 100 times worse when you can only take like 2 hits before you're dead. You're in a very, very tight, confined space, and flames are just flying everywhere. Not to mention Phantoon's big head taking up like a quarter of the screen. Duck once again collecting the second set of power bombs here at Beta. Is there a specific power bomb goal on here? 20 plus power bombs there in row 5, column 3. I think it's kind of getting what we talked about in game 1 if you were here for that, what these runners have as their strengths, which are very, very similar strengths, I think, but I think very different weaknesses. We talked about it a little bit with Maniacal when he was here in the booth with me. I miss you, Maniacal. I think apathyduck is perhaps someone more likely to make a mistake, like miscount, go into the wrong room, which we kind of saw with how the qualifiers went. There were a couple really excellent runners who kind of made some flubs and got themselves kind of a lower seed than they probably deserved to have. But I think he's one to get over his mistakes a lot faster and a lot easier than azder is. I kind of think azder might be letting the game 2 loss really get to him at this point. Yeah, looking at you, Derp. Yeah, discussing this matchup, this is definitely a matchup that like could have been the finals or could have been the semifinals. But the bracket got a little bit turned on its head. And even like apathyduck's prior opponent to this, TG Derp, also known for being kind of one of the best bingo players here, and that was just a round 2 matchup, so really, really crazy to see kind of how this bracket turned out. Reminding everyone, this is the quarterfinals. Winner goes on to face Mr. Guy Average. The other side of the bracket, we've got a Real Cutie and Beef Robber waiting to race, which I believe is scheduled. Their races are Thursday at 10 p.m. That'll be the full 3 set. And then Zeb is waiting on the winner of those 2. So, still a lot of good names in it. As you're definitely getting this map station here. Getting it after Phantoon. But I kind of think doesn't really matter. There's not a whole lot going on in this hallway here. Whether the ship is on or off. Well, Duck missing his last super there, so we'll have to take another round. Phantoon would probably give him a slow now as punishment. Yeah. Phantoon is laughing at you, Duck. Don't let him have the last laugh. You can do it. He's probably just like 2 missiles away. Okay, more than that. Okay, that was like 4 missiles away, but still. A super would have done the trick. So as we're being able to take a bit of a lead here, about 45 seconds, depending on what Duck decides to collect here. If he decides to just collect the one super, or if he wants to get them both. Yeah, I personally feel like row 1 is kind of a no-brainer. We'll see how the runners feel. It is kind of funny because you do have to collect both ice and speed to qualify for that row. But kind of looks like ice is just to have ice, but speed booster gonna have a bit more utility for you here. Okay. So we're specifically getting these missiles. Could indicate going for the 25 plus criteria missiles. Could otherwise indicate just wanting the 60 missiles. That's there in row 3. I can see, I don't think column 5 is bad. I just think since it's possible to avoid Dragon, you should. And I don't know, 8 E-tanks is kind of a lot. Unless you're having to make it over in 2 hits, does successfully. 24 health, pick up the gravity suit here. Should be good to go. Duck, I think, has 128, maybe 138. If he can get another big health drop or 2, that'd be really nice. Bottom left to top right's actually not terrible either. The worst thing on that card is collecting the X-ray scope. Probably the better route, you need to go ahead and do that either with the D-boost if you're seasoned in that, or with the high jump and speed booster combination, which makes it pretty easy, but you do take a few hits, so you want to be careful with your health. Yeah, I think of all the cards we've seen tonight, this one definitely would have benefited the most from Crade First. One tile in particular, the Wreck Ship Reserve Tank, is definitely a tile where going Crade First is going to benefit you, because you want that speed booster ahead of time. You can't get the Wreck Ship Reserve Tank without speed. But the things around it aren't great. Like, 8 plus E-tanks isn't great. Collect space and skip high jump boots, also not great. Be careful of the crabs. Crabs hurt a lot. Yeah. We've all died to a crab, I'm pretty sure. Every single one of us. Not me, though. Looks like Duck. Where are you going? Do you want this E-tank, or do you want the Criteria Meridian elevator? Or something else that I don't see? Yeah, looks like he's going for the elevator. So, I don't know if he's gonna enter Meridia this way, or if he's just gonna go back through the wrecked ship. Because he can't do anything without ice or speed booster in Meridia right now. That really kind of surprises me. It's definitely not going row 2. There's no way, right? Nobody's going row 2. So that would indicate that he's going for column 3. Which isn't bad. It's just this part is really out of the way. And just the fact that he's gonna have to go all the way through Meridia to get to Norfair. And won't be able to actually accomplish much in Meridia. I think I still like top left to bottom right, row 1, and column 4 the best. I think the transition from Batoon to landing site is really, really nice, really quick. Especially if you allow yourself to grab high jump and speed booster. Yeah, definitely a good point. Duck is able to get all of the Meridia supers. It's just not as comfy and pretty slow. You can do a snail clip into the Aqueduct supers, and then of course grab the yellow Meridia supers. Even the room before the yellow Meridia supers without a movement item can be pretty annoying with the Mews attacking you, and that jump is just kind of silly anyway. But it does look like Duck's just gonna go through the E, which he needs to be careful. The Evers do a lot of damage as well. Somewhere around 30, I believe. Okay, I think he's okay. Yeah, showing good patience there, waiting out the crab. While Azure collects the speed booster. Going to be useful. He'll have that tile regardless of what he plans to do, I think. I don't really see a reason on this card to get Grapple Beam instead. With the collect only one of, you are limited to only one. If the tile says just something or something, you do have the option of getting both, but you do have to get at least one. But the only one is very firm. Only one. No more. Just like on Halloween, when people just leave their bowls of candy out on their porch and they leave a sign that says, "Take only one. There are other children here too." Duck with the high jump boots, so canceling him out of row 5 and column 2 as well. I think Duck is very much giving the appearance of a column 4, column 3, and I think row 1 is still probably the best with that. There's the Ice Beam for Azure, and that has to be a definite row 1 for him, because he cannot do column 2. So slightly unsure about Azure's criteria missile count, because it did appear that he was specifically getting criteria missiles for a bit there, but I don't know that it really goes with the plan. But we'll see. I've been surprised before. Just gonna go ahead and snag the second Brinstar missile station. We saw this last race. Have to come in here to the warehouse. Don't need to kill Kraid to access it. A reason that you would kill Kraid in this situation would be perhaps for the Kraid E-Tank, as there isn't any restrictions on this card about what suits you can pick up. Right, Duck on his way out. Not touching the Crocomire area. Pretty much as expected. Not touching those 15 Norfair power bombs. What a surprise. Alright, so we are getting the Crab Supers here for the all 15 Meridian Super Missiles tile. Could easily kill Batoon here if you wanted to. That would kind of indicate to me probably the diagonal top left to bottom right. Apathyduck just a smidgen behind. Not quite sure exactly what his powerbomb count is at. If he is going for the 20, his last ones can of course be the criteria or landing site powerbombs. Therefore, just transitioning out of the room into the landing site. I'll give him a really quick finish. And Duck did not collect Ice Beam. So won't be on path for row 1 at least. Unless he forgot it. But yeah, I don't know what Duck's third row is going to be. Squint. I mean, it could very well be something like row 4. That's still possible for him. I do think that'll take a little bit longer though, to have to go and kill Dragon and collect the X-ray scope. Azder being a little careful with his health there. Just on the 2 E-Tanks, both of them still. Which, actually, not a bad position to be in if you're not planning on killing any more major bosses. But yeah, you do need to be cognizant that Shine Sparks cost health in the game will actually automatically stop your Shine Spark once you hit 29 health as to not kill you. That's so nice of the game. Puts you exactly in health bomb range. The game wants you to live, wants you to succeed. Dueling Batoons. Duck just getting started while Usher's Batoon goes down. Almost headed over to the right. Not a route you see really anywhere else but Bingo. Just going right back out the front door of Batoon. I think Duck went a little wild with his supers. I'm pretty sure he had somewhere in the 20s entering. And then was having to finish off with missiles. Yeah, it does appear Duck is going for the Dragon kill, intending to get the space jump. Let's see where the green is at. So Usher will need to come on down to Brinstar and visit the old critters. I don't remember now, but I feel like Azure has both Brimstone missile recharge stations, but I could be thinking of another race, and he hasn't gotten the first one here yet. We'll see if he goes to it. They talk about Seed Blade and Randomizer, but yeah, when you just saw like 20 minutes ago these racers doing exactly the same thing. Yeah, it would have made sense to wait on this missile recharge station. He did the same thing in game 1. He put off the recharge station till the end. And comboed it with the Edakun's grabs. Save her! Save the Decora! Alright, she's not saved, but that's okay. That's one animal down, or one critter down. For Usher. Not going to it, so he'll go to it when he comes back up. You know, Duck, having a kind of scary Dragon fight. Should probably be dead after this ammo. Not quite. Didn't hit all of his supers there. He's not in good health to really go for the spark. I'm sure he knows more about what he's doing than I do, but he's in a pretty tight spot. Like, regardless, like, on one hand he has to live, but on the other hand, living is slow. He does take her down with the spark. He gets the blue suit with 42 health, taking himself down to 24. What a madman. Lifting that space jump. Yeah, that was really crazy. Really scary fight there. I think Usher's gonna just be happy with his 2E tanks here and his nice health. Was that a Wample jump? I told Maniacal I would point out all the Wample jumps. Did that qualify? I need somebody to tell me, somebody who's good at speedrunning. Oh, Eddie says no, okay. Yeah, he did fall, but he got the first part right. I think. So, finishing up for Usher, what does he still need to do? So he's got the Melt Missile, he's got the, not Sky Missile, but the other missile, he's got the Ocean. That's 3, this would be a 4th. Does he have any other criteria missile that I'm missing? Yeah, he's gonna come down here to the climb and get the old Mother Brain missile. And yeah, all he needs to do is climb back up to the landing site, collect the landing site power bomb. No, he doesn't even need that. I can't see squares when there's so many squares. Oh, criteria map. That's the square I wasn't seeing. Yeah, so just come back up. No power bombs. Forget I said that. Get this criteria map station and end at the landing site. And he'll be done. Just like 4 door transitions away from victory. Duck's got another power bomb to get. Which will be the criteria power bomb, I'm sure. But he's probably going to go ahead here and collect Spazer and X-ray scope on his way back up. Yeah, I think the choice here to really dig for lines that didn't involve actually going and killing Dragon really sealed it for azder. And kind of sealed the fate of Duck, especially with Dragon treating him so badly as she does. That is a win of Game 3 of the series for azder. With a time of 34 minutes and 41 seconds. I think that's the fastest of the series. azder, I know, really collecting super fast times there on our little fun leaderboard on our spreadsheet. Duck gonna go ahead and finish it out. And we are joined by tonight's winner, azder. Welcome in, GG.
Hi, GG.
Okay, I gotta ask, did you pick these lines because they're the ones that I said were the best?
I have no idea what you said.
I have it written down. Top left, bottom right, row 1 and column 4 are the best lines. And you did them.
Oh, that's good. I guess I don't have to sleep on the couch tonight.
So I thought was really good about that combination of lines, and I'm sure there are other combinations that kind of achieve the same goal, but you got to basically only do Phantoon as your only major boss. You didn't have to touch Dragon, which I think really hurt Duck on this card, who did go for that space jump tile.
Yeah, I was looking hard at last couple cards to see if, but it was just, Dragon was just kind of all over most of those. Game 2 card, I wanted to skip it, and I forgot beta PBs in Game 2, and I started thinking 30 was going to be really slow and I should switch rows, and then I switched to a really bad row. So I'm happy that this one went more smoothly. But I also made the mistake at I blame my controller for this because it has only started happening since I got the new one. But the Chavo elevator thing at the start of Morphball that I've had happen during practice too. I was really tilted when that happened in practice, which I'm kind of glad that happened because it gave me the experience of having been tilted by it before, and I managed to stay calmer this time when it happened. But that just sucks. That's just like 30 seconds down right away. So I'm really happy that the rest of this card went smoothly and came together like it did.
Thank you to Al for clipping that for us. I was gonna say nobody knows what you're talking about. Nobody saw it. Duck about to finish up here. Just has to collect the criteria power bomb and come back out the door. And he'll be in. Yeah, I didn't think he chose badly either. I just think it was a lot stronger to be able to skip Dragon. And I was a little worried because I know with you, the kind of beating yourself up gets pretty real. And I think Duck is someone who kind of mentally overcomes that a little bit faster. Speaking of, we have Duck in here with us. GG to you as well, Duck.
GG's. I'm blaming this on collusion.
Good old collusion oscillator.
Yeah. So that was a thing.
Yeah, card 2 was a thing. I think both of us did really badly that card. But Cutie won't stop talking to me in between these matches, but I think I had pretty good rows, but it was like doing it at the time was just like there was so much on that, and like there was possibilities to skip Dre, and I had like so many like side quests, I guess you want to call them, where I just had to go like Brinstar missiles and stuff. Like I wasn't happy about it, especially against you. I'm like, but like in retrospect, that card was just rough to route, and I think I picked something pretty good. I don't know what's gonna be better than that, but yeah, it was a hard card to suss out because. Yeah, I kind of like switched what I was doing. All of these, I switched what I was. This was the only one where I was like, I know what I'm doing. And even that, I had a couple I accidentally almost switched into the finish near Spazer. I almost did the same thing. I'm like, oh, I can do the same thing again with the finish near Spazer, and I was like, wait, no, I still have a finish at landing site. Can't do that. So those mutually exclusive ones will get you.
Yeah.
I picked my rose for this one really quickly.
Yeah. The first one is the one that I'm kicking myself because like I don't think I can beat you if we do the same thing. That's what we ended up doing on the first one. And
I played really well in the first one, so I was like, I was actually like, if I'm only winning against you by, it was almost 2 minutes, I guess, but
yeah, sure.
But like, I think I did a slightly better row too, and I was just like, well, okay, that's kind of the margin for mistakes I have, and I played really well, and I can't count on myself to always play that well, so I was like still worried.
Yeah, I've just this Dragon like screwed me. I had like a billion swoops, and I was trying to do like I didn't have X-ray or wave or anything, and yeah, like my drays are all bad. I think I did 3 drays, but I think on the first one like it's gonna be close because my original plan was like kind of the same thing. But instead of going up to finish at Wreck Ship E-Tank, you go down and finish at Croc, and you get grapple. Like so, you end in grapple because there was like a Croc card, and there was like a finish and grapple. And I kind of switched to what we ended up doing. And I was like, oh, wait, there's still Croc in this. This is like I was trying to get rid of Croc, and I realized there was still Croc. And by the time I realized that, I was already past Bryn map. And it was like, to fix it, I would have had to do like Criteria Energy Tank down to Bryn, back up. And I'm like, no, if this is better, it's not better by that much. So I kind of was stuck with. But yeah, I'd be interesting to see. I mean, you still got a 30. What'd you get? 34 in that? Like,
yeah, that one went really well for me.
Yeah, I've yet to get a 34. So like, I mean, I feel like I'm not saying like, oh, I'd have won, but I think I'd have had a better chance, and like that's the what if of this match. But
Yeah, that was kind of what we were discussing, whether because that's kind of what I chose for card 1 was the same thing you guys did, except for not the plasma goal, but the finish and grapple goal.
Yeah, that was my plan.
Yeah,
originally. That's exactly what I was going to do.
And we were kind of debating a little bit here on what would actually end up being faster. I kind of think the Crocodile was faster, but
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it was too. And I was like, but is it a minute? Like, would you beat me by like a minute?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a minute faster. Is the thing like that's probably close. So that's what I'm saying. I don't necessarily think like, oh, I would have won, but like, A, it'd have been more fun to watch, and B, like, I think that would have been my chance to win. This one, like, I thought I had the rose on this, but I guess. I mean,
no, you should see what I think. What I did was really good.
Probably, I just spotting. I mean, you just have to grab something, and yeah, it was the critter. Like I saw the critter. Like the critters is so hard to route for me because I'm like I've said this before. JD's gonna yell at me here. It's just like I start with Phantoon first and work from there. So like critters is already out until I see a bunch of other stuff to put it back in, and I didn't see a bunch of other stuff to put it back in. So like that was just kind of out of my mind. I've been talking to Cutie a lot, and like. Because you think it's like Phantoon, Bryn cleanup, and then Meridia or Norfair or whatever, right? And that's kind of your route. But like, I'm assuming what you did, the like Phantoon, Meridia, and then finish in Bryn, really isn't that bad. Especially because
like finish in landing site is like, there's no reason to do the Bryn stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I like this.
It was pretty big brain, I think.
You see this? Staring at each other in landing site.
This is like this 3-game set is like the first. Actual like bracket match I'm happy about in the tourney.
Thanks. way to step up your game just for me.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, so, I was really like I looked at Visit the Critters. I decided that I was doing that pretty much right away. Because I looked at all like I clicked all the stuff on the card I didn't want to do, and I looked at what rows were left, like the patterns of the rows that were left, and I was just like, okay, if I count out these things I don't want to do, then and like actually Dragon was included in that because I was just like, this looks like a Dragon skippable card, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So I was just like, okay, Visit the Critters and Wreck Ship Reserve. Okay, 2 things. Now let's see what goes well with that. Okay, 2 both Bryn Star Missile refills. Okay, that's good. That's my good KPDR route. Let's do KPDR this one. And I was thinking, okay, wait, I got to get early PV to get the Norfair map station. And KPDR is more backtracking anyways. If I'm getting the early PV anyways, and I don't really need to have like I ended up cutting out Wreckship Reserve because that row just wasn't as good. So I'm like, okay, only thing I've got left is Visit the Critters. I don't need speed right now. I'll just do like
Yeah.
So I decided my row's 3 minutes in, but I didn't decide my boss order until 10 minutes in.
Yeah, I think what do we finish with? Like 4 minutes? Yeah, this was pretty big, but like just the Dre. I mean, my Dre was really bad, mostly from luck. Like it was, I don't know how many swoops I got. It was just it was a swoop festival, but it was bad, and it's not 4 minutes for that Dre got. So even yeah, I mean, if I do what you do, I'm probably still losing this. I mean, like I said, like you're the first seed for a reason. So although I know a little uncharacteristic to drop onto the 25th seed. It's rough.
Like you were pulling well enough results that if you good enough in the qualifiers that if you didn't like miss tiny things, get DQ'd or die or whatnot, you would have been like 3 maybe. So
I think because what I missed was so like not a time thing. I think I did the math, assuming I got the same exact time, it would have been 4. So it would have been like me and MGA would have had like almost the exact same score. It would have been very, very close. I was 4 or 5. But yeah, I mean, like all that would have. I think the only difference is like where I would have end up. I either play you this round or I play you next round, right?
Yeah,
like, that's the difference. So it's like it kind of, sucks that I'm out. But like, I mean, I came into this and I was like, because I'd only done like the dab last year for SG Live. And I was like, oh man, I kind of like bingo. Let me try this. So I've done like a billion times better than I thought I was gonna do. So I'm like, my goals for this were to get the fastest loss. But my 3 goals were I wanted the fastest loss, which I got twice. I wanted to take at least 1 off you, and then the 3rd was to win, and so I got like 2 out of 3. So like I'm as happy as can be. Like, I mean, it'd been fun to like maybe play Cutie in the finals for a team corn dog finale, but
man, yeah, I should have just forfeit this matchup so that you would have won, but you wouldn't have taken a game off me, and you wouldn't have gotten fastest.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because. Yeah, I mean, like, especially, like, the path I had to go through, like, I mean, the path, I've been saying this from the beginning, it's literally the hardest path you could have come up with, because it was JD, Derp, you, then it would be MGA, then be Cutie, assuming everything's going chalk, and it was just, like, and, like, I'm actually, like, happier with, I think it went better, like, me going through that and having, like, 3 really hard rounds, and, like, winning 2 of them and pulling 1 off of you, than if I just, like, was 4 seed and had, like, 2 rounds where it was kind of, like, straightforward, and then I just lose to you anyways, like, it ended up being a lot more fun. So
yeah, it depends what your goals are, what you're looking for. The side of the bracket is way harder, I think, and it's mostly because of where you and Derp ended up in seeding.
Yeah, and then we had to fight. We had to fight each other. So that.
Jerks.
Yeah, sorry. Well, you yelled Derp. That's not my fault. I'm apologizing to JD.
I would have just raced you next. I could have been you, and having a terrible time.
No, this was fun. This was a lot of. I mean, this going to game 3 and everything, like, it's great. So I mean, I obviously respect Azure a ton. So just to be able to take 1 off him is, and then it's like I lost it for 36 and a 38. Like, I mean, I can't complain. Like,
yeah, it's kind of funny how that worked out. Like,
yeah, so like I'm sure fastest loss will be different at the end, but at least like through this round, I'll have it. So that's at least something.
Like I had an absolute disaster game 2. It was just like,
yeah, it sounds like it.
It's just like, okay, this is why you don't make like key decisions on switching when you're trying to calculate how many E-tanks and supers you still need to pick up, and what you're gonna do, because you're basically drunk because your brain is on the same amount of resources because it's thinking about other things. So it's like you can't trust your judgment.
Wait, are you telling me you're not drunk? I had like 5 PBRs before the match.
PBR is not going to get you drunk, and neither is 5.
Okay. I'm gonna hold you to that if we ever run into each other.
Ugh. PBR. Well, yeah. I thought this was a really, really excellent series, and I knew it was gonna be close and could go either way. And yeah, Duck, you had quite a journey to go through to get to this round. And yeah, I know you're all good friends and respect each other a lot, and we'll be seeing a lot more of each other in future tournaments, I'm sure.
Maybe. I think we're on a collision course at some point if we both keep winning out. It took fairly late in the SMZ3, but I'm not sure. It keeps changing.
We're still in winners, so if we keep winning out, we win. So
that's true.
It's not.
Yeah, let's do that.
It depends on if when we lose in winners.
Yeah, I think you're the loser of you. If we win like the next 2 rounds, we'll face. So I mean, it's either you or Andy that's going to be rough. So.
Yeah. So we're on a collision course if I lose my next match, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll get some revenge. So. Well, I might be able, our team might be able to get revenge in this tournament still. So I'll look forward to that too.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
it'll be fun.
Alright guys, yeah, a real cutie facing off against Beef Robber this Thursday at 10 o'clock for the other quarterfinals match. Was there anything else you guys would like to say? How sure you're gonna go on to face Mr. Guy Average? Any thoughts about that? Any thoughts from either of you that you haven't thoughted already?
Yeah, just because of like the way the seating theoretically should have shaken out, I'm not as worried about that match as I was about this one. Like, no offense, but I did feel like this was more like the semis matchup, and MGA was more the quarters for what I thought my path would have been. But like, I don't know, like he's had a lot of like MGA's had a lot of 3-game series. We'll see how much he learns from some of the mistakes that he's made, because like that's what a lot of tournament losses do, is they teach you things that you did wrong. So he's got the movement advantage. So if he can route better, then it'll be more challenging.
I think in that one you just pick a Fantoon first, even if there's a crate first, because I think if you both do a crate first, he's got an advantage there, because he is like, I mean, that's his bread and butter, right? And he's obviously got a lot of movement advantage. So just like if you just avoid that, you can. It just depends. So depends what the cards
that's
are.
True. Yeah, I think that's a big part of like why
he's the best player in this that you can meta. I think is.
Oh yeah.
I think is, and obviously like, tons of respect to him too. But yeah, I think against Maniacal, the one he dropped, it was like he died on, and you had a rough one too this round too, which I'm like, I don't want to win that way, so I'm glad you didn't die. But yeah, I mean that's gonna be a fun one, because if he can like crate first cards, but he sees crate first really well on these two, and like he does some, and he can make crate first pretty fast too.
Oh, he's so good at crate first. It's
it's just like,
I just don't think that helps enough in this tourney.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I guess I'm Coach Duck now. Like, just even if you see a good crate first, stay away from it, and then just hope what you pick is still better. Because like, if you're going nose to nose with him, like that might be rough. But I mean, you know what you're doing. But so that's just my thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, GG's. This was fun.
Yeah, this was great. This tournament was a lot of fun, and like I was in 3 tournaments like 2 weeks ago, and this went way longer than I thought.
Oh god, I'm still in 4.
Oh my god. Yeah, sorry. No. I'll try not to confuse you about phantom matches that I make up in my head about you in the future.
Alright guys, thanks again for running for us. Please do follow our runners, azder and apathyduck. Really great guys, know a lot about this here Super Metroid, and really put on an excellent show for us tonight. Couldn't have expected much better here. A reminder again, A Real Cutie versus Beef Robber is Thursday at 10 p.m. That'll be the full 3-game series. And yeah, we'll be on the lookout for azder versus Mr. Guy Average next. Big thanks to Just Defend on tracking tonight, and Maniacal helping out in Game 1 on commentary. Yeah, that'll do it for us tonight. We hope to see you all Thursday, and have an excellent evening.